Welcome to Power Your Story podcast, Open Mic Thursdays. The topic is going to be by Adrian Cepeda.
And my topic is wildfires in California. Many houses are burned and destroy the nature in its population. Yeah.
We actually just finished like a global warming unit in bio, and our teacher kind of talked to us about how like the sun is warming the earth, and because of that, like a lot of ice caps are melting, and ice caps usually reflect heat because they're like lighter surfaces and they're like white, whereas the water is a darker, so it's going to be absorbing the heat, which makes the earth's temperature higher, and it's like a positive feedback loop. So all of this keeps happening over and over again. And then a lot of that has to do with like the extreme weather. Like we had a record number of hurricanes a while ago. It was like 6 at one time or something crazy, or maybe 6 in a year. I'm not sure, but we talked about that as well.
That's fair. For me, I've also heard about like the ice capsules, and personally as well, I know that I have some family that lives in California, and they've told me that luckily from where they live, it hasn't hit them as hard, but it's gotten to the point where you still kind of have like I don't know what you call them, like clouds of like ash and stuff from all the burning of trees and stuff like that. So people losing their lives and like their whole being because they lose like their homes and stuff where they grew up.
You know, actually, just to add on to the whole California fire, one thing I actually learned about when I went to actually, I'm not going to go too deep into that, but I actually learned that there's something called like control burnings, which are like natural, and which happens like the trees naturally burn, like clear out and like eventually like deplete seeds to like sort of spread out. And they said the problem with that is that in California, they actually like try to limit those burnings, so they like, because they're too close to like houses, but that ends up making the situation worse, and like the forest fires get like a lot like worse.
I know that forest fires are really dangerous, especially in like around the West Coast, because sometimes there's droughts in that area. So when the fires like touch the trees, it starts like burning the forests and stuff, and it just starts spreading everywhere, and it can be really dangerous.
I just want to add that it's like not only bad for the humans, but it's bad for the animals also. Like not only are the humans like losing homes, but it's animals that are being like killed and having their habitats taken away and things like that from the wildfires and need to be rescued and things of that sort.
Yeah, that's a fair point too, because I've heard that a lot of populations of animals are like dying out and becoming more extinct.
I think that's also bad because that leads into like more things, how this one problem is affecting the whole California, and the crops and stuff are getting destroyed in food facilities. It's going to make it harder to get that stuff and clean crops and things like that to the more like populated areas. And that's how like those forest fires are not only destroying people's homes, affecting everybody, like the animals, the humans, the food, everything.
Yeah, I'm sure we get certain products that are homegrown from California.
I just feel like the closing thought should be the fact that it's wildfires, but this whole like climate change crisis is more than just wildfires. It's affecting everyone and everything in the area. And I think that that's a big problem. And a lot of people overlook that. Like most people just think, oh, it's just burning and then the houses. But no, it's the food, the animals, the humans, their homes, everything. Like it's affecting America because, we get a lot of food from California, things like that. It's affecting a wide variety of things, not just wildfires and things like that. I think that's pretty much the whole idea.
Thank you to listening to Open Mic Thursdays by me, Adrian Cepeda. Have a good night and have a lovely day. Power Your Story podcast is produced by Chicago high school students at the Creative Impostor Studios with production support from After School Matters.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Power Your Story Podcast, and visit our website at poweryourstorypodcast.com. Thank you for listening.